Imagine pouring golden olive oil over a fresh salad, savoring its rich, fruity flavor, confident you are doing something good for your body. For decades, this simple act has been a symbol of healthy eating, backed by mountains of praise from doctors, nutritionists, and scientists alike. Olive oil has long stood as a pillar of the Mediterranean diet, celebrated for its heart-healthy fats and anti-inflammatory properties. But now, a scientific rift is emerging, one that challenges this comforting certainty and forces us to reconsider what we thought we knew about one of the world's most beloved pantry staples. At the heart of this debate are two major studies from leading research institutions, each arriving at conclusions that seem to pull in opposite directions. One suggests that a key component of olive oil might actually help certain aggressive cancer cells grow and spread. The other insists that the same oil strengthens the body's natural defenses, slowing tumor development and supporting overall immune health. On the surface, this looks like a contradiction. But dig deeper, and what emerges is not confusion, but complexity, a reminder that nutrition is rarely black and white. The concern stems from a specific type of breast cancer known for its ferocity and resistance to standard treatments. This form does not respond to hormonal therapies, making it harder to manage and more likely to spread. Researchers studying this cancer in laboratory settings found that oleic acid, the main fatty acid in olive oil, appeared to activate certain signals inside cancer cells that made them more mobile and invasive. In essence, the oil's primary ingredient seemed to give these dangerous cells a kind of turbo boost, helping them move more easily through the body, a critical step in metastasis. This finding sent ripples through the scientific community, not because it suddenly branded olive oil as dangerous, but because it highlighted a troubling possibility, that something widely considered protective might, under very specific circumstances, play a role in fueling disease. Yet just as that alarm began to sound, another group of scientists offered a very different perspective. Their work focused not on cancer cells in isolation, but on the entire biological environment in which tumors grow. In their experiments, subjects fed diets rich in plant-based fats like those found in olive oil showed significantly stronger immune responses. Specialized immune cells became more active, more efficient at recognizing abnormal cells, and better equipped to mount a defense before tumors could take hold. Compared to diets heavy in animal fats, like butter or lard, the olive oil group consistently demonstrated slower tumor growth and a more robust internal surveillance system. Here, olive oil was not a villain, but an ally, helping the body do what it does best: protect itself. So which is it? Is olive oil friend or foe? The answer, as it turns out, depends on the lens through which you look. Science often progresses by zooming in, studying a single molecule, a specific cell type, or a narrow pathway. This precision is essential for uncovering mechanisms, but it can also create blind spots. When researchers isolate cancer cells and bathe them in oleic acid, they see one story. When they observe a living organism consuming olive oil as part of a balanced diet, they see another. Both are true within their context, but neither tells the whole tale. This tension reveals a fundamental truth about nutrition: food does not act in a vacuum. Olive oil is not just oleic acid. It contains dozens of other compounds, polyphenol, antioxidants, and minor fatty acids, that interact with each other and with the human body in ways we are only beginning to understand. Moreover, how the body responds to any food depends on a host of factors: genetics, existing health conditions, gut bacteria, overall diet quality, and even lifestyle habits like sleep and stress. A molecule that behaves one way in a petri dish may behave entirely differently inside a complex, living system shaped by years of dietary patterns. Consider the Mediterranean diet, where olive oil is consumed daily alongside vegetables, legumes, whole grains, nuts, and fish. In this context, olive oil is part of a symphony, not a solo act. Its benefits may come not just from what it contains, but from what it replaces, namely, highly processed fats and refined oils that promote inflammation. Decades of population studies have linked this dietary pattern to lower rates of heart disease, diabetes, cognitive decline, and even some cancers. To pluck olive oil out of that rich tapestry and judge it solely by its effect on one aggressive cancer subtype is to miss the forest for the tree. That said, the warning from the cancer-focused research should not be dismissed. For individuals already battling or at high risk for certain cancers, particularly those with limited treatment options, the stakes are higher. In these cases, every dietary choice carries more weight. What is generally safe or even beneficial for the average person might need reevaluation for someone whose biology is already under siege. This is not about fear-mongering or abandoning olive oil altogether, but about precision. It is a call for more personalized nutrition, where dietary advice is tailored to individual risk profiles rather than handed down as universal dogma. The real lesson here is not whether to keep olive oil in your kitchen. It is about how we interpret science in an age of information overload. Headlines often flatten nuance, turning careful, conditional findings into sweeping declarations. One day coffee prevents cancer, the next it causes it. Eggs are heart healthy, then they are not. This whiplash erodes trust and leaves people frustrated. But the problem is rarely the science itself, it is the oversimplification. Good science is iterative, contextual, and often contradictory in its early stages. That is not weakness, it is rigor. What makes this olive oil debate so instructive is that it showcases science working as it should, different teams asking different questions, using different methods, and arriving at pieces of a larger puzzle. Neither study is wrong. Together, they deepen our understanding. They remind us that biology is layered, that a single food can have multiple effects depending on the circumstances, and that health is not about finding magic bullets or avoiding boogeyman ingredients. It is about balance, context, and humility in the face of complexity. For the average person, the practical takeaway remains steady. If you enjoy olive oil as part of a varied, plant-forward diet, there is no compelling reason to stop. The overwhelming body of evidence still supports its role in long-term health. But if you or someone you love is facing a specific, aggressive form of cancer, it may be worth discussing dietary fats with a specialist who understands both oncology and nutrition. This is not alarmism, it is empowerment through informed choice. In the end, the olive oil controversy is less about oil and more about how we navigate uncertainty. It invites us to move beyond binary thinking, good versus bad, safe versus dangerous, and embrace a more sophisticated view of health. Foods are not heroes or villains. They are tools, and like any tool, their impact depends on how, when, and by whom they are used. As research continues to evolve, so too must our willingness to hold multiple truths at once, to question without panic, and to seek guidance that honors both science and individual circumstance. That is not just good nutrition, it is wisdom. If this deep dive into the olive oil debate opened your eyes, you're not alone. Nutrition is rarely as simple as good or bad, it's layered, personal, and constantly evolving. Don't forget to like this video if you value science that cuts through the noise, and subscribe so you never miss another story where health, research, and real life collide. Drop a comment below. Are you rethinking your oil choices, or sticking with olive oil? Let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and eat thoughtfully.